Yes, guys, it's episode 16 of the Bikini Insider, fresh off the Ben Weider UK. The pro card's been awarded. We're going to touch on that, but let me first introduce our co-host. It is, of course, Kerry, newly engaged Olympia qualifier. She'll be in that Olympia stage 2025. We're going to touch on that very shortly. And I know what you're thinking. Is that the Russian fit model overall winner, Maria Costarina? No, I know we need to jump on this. But no, it's not.
Really?
It is Marnie. It's Marnie, our IP Pro, IP Pro Bikini, IP Pro Fit Model. We're going to touch on this in a bit.
No. Oh, stop.
All right. You know what? Normally I jump in. I start with Kerry like, oh, talk me about your Olympia prep and how things are going. But Marnie, look, you brought it upon yourself by doing your Q&A and story, and it gets popped up every time. Are you doing Fit Model? Marnie, okay, let's throw this out there. Are you 100% retired?
From Pro Bikini, yes.
Okay. From Pro Bikini.
Got my answer. Oh, Marnie, oh my God. Today I'm like
If
giving
you
you so much
wanna,
stick in there.
if you go back and watch my announcement video, I do actually say I'm announcing my retirement from the Pro Bikini division.
There we
So
go then.
And you know what? I was going to say that, but I know it was a long video. I need to get coffee on before I rewatch it. But I was going to check. Did you say Pro Bikini or did you say Pro overall? But look, I got to throw it because every time you do a Q&A, it does come up, which therefore people are seeing more the fit model look and they take on
Yeah.
board exactly what you said, why you chose to retire. So they're adding two and two. I'm thinking it's making four. You're probably saying it's making five. But
yeah.
what's your thoughts when people are constantly, maybe well, I say constantly, I don't know, but they're saying to you, "Oh, are you doing fit model?"
So, well, firstly, I just want to preface this with Carrie was also saying it to me in my ear when we were watching the show. She was like, "Oh, does it not just make you wanna?" And I'll be honest, like when I was sat there, my answer was no, like not in a bad way, but I think it's still very early days. Like I only retired like 8 weeks ago. It literally is pretty much on the nose. So it's still early days, like I say, and I am still finding my feet, and I think it's difficult to navigate this part because you go from literally having like this really intense goal. For me, it was obviously like 10 years long, to then suddenly you're kind of like, okay, now I don't really have a goal. And it's a strange thing to wrap your head around. Obviously, bodybuilding is very much my lifestyle in the sense that like I eat the same foods every day, the routine and the structure is still there. Like I'm still doing cardio and things like that, hitting my step count and making sure that I get enough sleep. But it is weird that like obviously I've decided not to grow any more muscle. And I think one thing that I want to mention about Fit Model is that it's still early days for Fit Model too. So that's kind of like we're both on the same wavelength. Like Fit Model is early days and my retirement is early days. And I think we don't know what the future holds yet for the division. I think, do you know what?
Yes,
I
we
was
do, Marnie. Yes, we do. We know 2026, the Pro League starts. We know it's going to be at the Olympia 2026. Don't go all politician with me. I know you're retired from bikini and politics. I mean, that's you, Marnie, talking around the answer. I need to be down Solomon. It was exactly the same. I like Marnie. Give me a proper politician special there. I want you to answer my
all right,
question.
all
Go on,
right.
carry on.
So I just wanted to mention, like, when I was at the show, it was if anyone's watching that I did see at the show, it was really nice to chat with everyone, and it's like I never left. I feel like just at home when I come to shows, and it's so nice. And obviously, Carrie and I got to catch up, but I was actually talking to Maz about this because he gave me my pro card, and he was like, "Oh, what's this then?" Like, I saw, "Are you done? Like, is that it?" And I said, "Well, with Pro Bikini, yes, because when we watched the pro show, I'm sure we're going to talk about this as well. Like, the girls were so muscular and dense, and that was the show I was obviously going to do as well. So now reflecting back, seeing the lineup, because obviously at the time we didn't know who was doing it, I do believe that I would have been like massively undersized next to the girls. I do think I could have held my own, but again, like I know that my feedback would have been the same thing again. So I'd said this to Maz, and I said, this is why I'm so glad that Fit Model is here because, and then he actually said to me, I call it classic bikini. And I was like, I love that. Like that's how I feel about it. And someone asked me on my Q&A yesterday about like which of my favorite era of bikini it like is over the years and I put up a picture of Janet from 2016 and I just love it and I think we're gonna see more of that as the Pro League gets introduced next year and I think it's still too early. The landscape isn't fully developed yet of the competitors in this division. So I can't give you an answer. I know I sound like a politician again, but yeah. I tell you what, I said I've been winding Jake up about it, and Jake said to me, like, you can find a new coach if you're doing that. Like, not on my watch. He's like, you are bikini through and through. But I think I speak on behalf of a lot of women that I do feel like I'm in no man's land at the moment. I'm too big for fit model, I think and I'm arguably too small for top level, Olympia level bikini. That's where I am. Somewhere in the middle. And that's where you get that fork in the road of like, do you go left, do you go right, or do you just whisk off into the
My my
sunset?
mine's already asking for a new division. Where's the division between fit model and bikini? Give us a new one. Give us classic bikini. It's going between
Yeah, class.
fit model and bikini.
I do like that. I think I wonder if like because Maz said to me, he was like, "Oh, I did put this forward, but they called it fit model." And I wonder if you know how like there's been a lot of like negative opinions on the category. I wonder if it had been called classic bikini, if those people would have taken
Yeah,
it seriously. Because
I think so, That's actually a really nice name.
I agree. I said to him, I was like, "Damn, they should have put you in charge." Like,
Yeah, that's actually, that's a bit
so
Well,
unfortunate, really.
look, away from football, I want to throw this question to you both. Obviously, it was the first pro qualifier of the year in UK. I really want to get your opinion as well because going to these shows, what do you girls? I do want to answer. What do you girls enjoy more, to be in the auditorium watching the show, or actually the experience when you're in the auditorium where everyone's just mixing, talking? I throw that because I'm there watching the show, and sometimes you just tick along. But then when you go outside, out in the auditorium, it just felt like there was a really nice community of everyone's not seen each other for quite a few months. It's the first time a lot of people see each other since last year. So there always seems to be a different feel from being in the auditorium to actually just being outside and in the mix with everybody else.
I guess it's how I like both. I like watching the shows. It's funny though, I always get this thing whenever I watch a show, and I remember I had this back in the day watching another federation where I was just about to fly out actually to another show, like in China or somewhere. And I always sit there, and I think I even said this to maybe Marnie or Fiona, I can't remember. Like, what is this madness that we actually do?
yeah, you
Like
did.
it is insane when you actually sit there and watch, like, and you think, oh my, like, did my younger self ever see me like sitting here or being on stage, like in a bikini? Like it is wild. And it's literally, isn't it? It's like it when you're competing, it feels like longer than 5 minutes. But really, when you watch it, you're on and off stage. And I think it's actually funny. I like to take myself out of the bubble of bodybuilding sometimes and see it like that. But like it makes me think of what people like normal people must think. Like we are crazy. We are literally crazy.
I think the perception's so different when you sat watching, like especially if you're not a bodybuilder, because obviously you do get people in the audience that they're literally just there for like one person to see their like family member, friend, whatever, that might not be competitors themselves, but then you've got people like us, and we're like actually watching the show to like see who's in the mix, see who's doing bikini, like kind of what goes
Yeah.
on the stage and in the comparisons and stuff. But I don't know. I think I find it really hard to chat sometimes when I'm watching because
Yeah.
I'm worried that I'm going to miss something important. And I think that just goes to show, like you just said there, Carrie, things happen so quickly up there. And
Yeah.
all it takes is for like a judge to look away for a second and miss something, miss a really good pose of someone, or do you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those you've got to really have your eyes on the
I think
stage the time.
Yeah, I think it's also being respectful to the athletes who are on stage because they'll probably look at the judges, but also look at the crowd and they may spot, oh, Marnie's there, Gary's there. Oh, they're just talking or we're not bothered. And sometimes people can get a bit deflated, like, oh, okay, maybe not bother
Yeah,
this guy.
So
yeah,
So
in
I think
answer
there's two
to
ways.
your question though, like yeah, I just like a bit of both, I guess. I also like it when the show is finished in a weird way. That's I like it when the show
Yeah.
finishes. Um because afterwards you're all like in there, like talking, like I don't know, catching up. I went up to Maz and was like, "So, you've got any feedback then?" And he was like, "Yeah, you look shit." I was like, "Need to lose a bit of fat, yeah." But no, it's good because you get to well speak to all the other like pros who were there obviously after and stuff like that. So it was good to catch up with some of those who obviously have competed with for years across the circuit and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I just like the whole experience in itself, if that counts.
That
yeah.
counts. Well,
I
look,
think
yeah, sorry,
oh, I
Molly.
was gonna how ironic. I was gonna say I think you can hear me before you can see me at a show. I'm always just like this, and I mean I was the same. Like rather than at the end of the show, because I think it's hard as well. Like the judges are a bit tired as well. They've been sat there all day. I'm definitely like an interval kind of gal. Like if I've clocked someone, you best believe on the interval I'm out my seat and I'm just
Yeah.
bubbling with everyone. So it was a good show though. Like there was quite a lot of people there that I haven't seen for a while. Carrie was there, like some of the other bikini pros. Phoebe Goodwin was there. I'm trying to think who else was there, Carrie? Like bikini. I don't think there was many bikini pros other than us.
No,
What
I
was
don't think
the
good to see like Danielle Spencer, people like that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
what was the audience like for the the women's section? Because it started quite busy. I'll probably say maybe half the seats were taken when it came to bodybuilding and classic physique. When classic physique ended, it did go quite quiet for men's physique. What was it like on the for the women's side? Because it did look like there's quite a lot more competitors in the bikini
yeah.
section versus the others.
It was, I took a video of the crowd. It was actually quite busy and everybody was really, really vocal because we had some of like the favorites, like the girls that we've mentioned on the podcast, and I had client competing as well. So obviously I was screaming like, yeah, it was the crowd was quite lively, I think, and a few of the bikini classes were quite busy as well. So obviously with more competitors in the lineup, you're gonna have more people screaming different people's names and stuff. So yeah,
wow.
it was good. It was busy.
Mm.
Well, look, we got our guests coming on in a moment, and we first thing we're going to start on is going to be the pro bikini lineup, and we got our guest who is Lisa Reith, who'll be on shortly, who took the win. We did talk about her and a few other competitors about who could be the favorite, and in fact, as I speak about her, she's literally just jumped in. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with pro bikini. We're then going to go into the amateur side. We're going to look into the amateur bikini lineups. After that, we are going to touch on Fit Model because it was a big a day for UKC. And I also just want to look at some of the international Fit Model competitors who are also going to be pushing for the pro cards later in the year. And after that, we are going to finish off looking ahead at this weekend because there are a few big pro bikini shows that are taking place, not just in the US, but also one overseas where we are going to be looking at a little bit more detail because it does feature one of our UK own. So first, let me bring in. She's now a three-time Olympian. She's returning back to the Super Bowl of bodybuilding at Las Vegas. And this is, of course, Lisa Reith, who took the victory, took number one spot at the Ben Weider UK, fresh off the FIBO stage. Lisa, I think you're on mute at the moment. There she is. Can you
Now.
hear us?
Hey.
Hi.
No, congratulations again.
Yeah,
Thank
well
you so much. And thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, look, Lisa, thank you so much. I know the girls got plenty of questions. And first off, again, like the girls say, and like all the messages that probably flocked into your DM over the past few days, many congratulations in winning the One Bro Pro show at the Ben Weider UK, taking first place, returning back to Olympia for a third year running. And this was,
Yes,
of course, fresh off a top three placing in FIBO only it was a week before, right? FIBO doesn't seem that
yes,
long ago.
yes,
It
yes.
was,
It
yeah,
was a week
a
in
week
between. Yes.
before. So I just want to jump in first here, Lisa. When you saw the lineup, because me and the girls, we spoke about the lineup last week. When you saw the lineup And of course, um, Ivy, who won the FIBO, Alison, who came second, and then yourself, who came third. What was your initial thought when you saw the lineup, knowing that, you know what, you probably are the favorite going into the show?
So my first thought was, oh, these are really less girls. So what is this for a lineup? Because I never competed with so yeah, it was really less girls competing there. This was my first thought, and the second was, yeah, maybe I could win this. But I wasn't sure about it because Mason Ali, who was a head judge, um, I competed so many times, and he judged me, and he never let me win until this point. Yeah, I took second places really often with him, and I was thinking about, I don't know, is he in a good mood or not? So yeah, I was unsure, but I knew from the beginning, I think it will be between me and Anna. So I was sure about that. But if he, yeah, let me win, I was not sure about that.
I bet that felt really rewarding for you then because coming second, like we talk about this a lot with Kerry, like she's had it second, 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 but
Yes.
I guess getting that from a judge that you've kind of delivered on the feedback and you know that he's seen you like at your best. So it hits different, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was surprised, to be honest, because um I think Mason is a really good judge, yeah, but I think he's also judging really from what he's feeling at this moment, is which is the best. So you can't say, um yeah, maybe I was two times at the Olympia and Anna was just one time. He doesn't care. That's
Yeah.
not what he's judging. He's always really fair. So it is an honor for me that I won the show now, because I really know, okay, I was the best in this lineup, and yeah, that makes me really happy. Yes.
And I'm intrigued to know, what feedback did he give you?
From this show now, from the One Bro Pro show,
Yes.
um, I I've been there, and I asked him, and he just said to me, "So I don't have any feedback. You delivered everything. I always feedbacked you the last times, because I always asked from for feedback." And he said, "Yeah, you were really balanced this time, and you really worked on the feedback I gave you. So I have nothing to say to you. Everything was just perfect." So I think that's a good feedback.
No, that's really good feedback.
Yeah.
It's literally what you want to hear, literally. So,
Yeah.
I agree though, Lisa, because we were there watching the show and when you walked out, I was like shocked in a good way. I was like, wow, Lisa looks really good. And I think as well, like you really suit the green bikini as well. But just the overall look, I think, yeah, you were really balanced. And I think just like your shape and like the condition and everything was just so good. So yeah, and I just want to say as well, I actually did my pro debut at the same show that you did, the One Bro Pro 2 years ago, and the changes that you've made since then are unbelievable. Like you look completely different now. So yeah, I just want to say like we see it and like your presentation and just everything, it's amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and um, especially this year now, I I noticed from myself I really look different,
Yeah.
and I really worked to see also the difference. I worked on my upper glute really much, yeah, that the glutes look more full. Yeah, so this was one point, and the feedback from the judges for me was always, I'm too hard. I have too many muscles. My glute is too big. Uh, yeah, the difference between my upper body and my lower body is too big. I have to be more balanced. So I trained more shoulders, that I look from the upper body, I look more wide. so it suits better to the lower body.
Yeah.
And yeah, this time or this year, I can really say, um, yeah, I look the first time really balanced. Yeah, so that makes me also really happy to see that you can make a difference also with so many years of competing. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, do you find, Lisa, when you compete, because you've done quite a lot of shows in the
Yes.
States as well, and something that always interests me about like the European girls is like, do you find that you manipulate your look in a different way when you compete in the States versus when you compete in Europe? Like, do you do anything different with your training leading into the show or like your peak or anything like that?
Yes, for sure. Because the first time I started in the US was 2023 at the Arnolds. And there I was still too hard, too muscular, and I placed seventh out of, I think it was 13 girls. So not that good. Yeah. And this was the first moment I really noticed, okay, the look from the European girls are really different from the look in the US. So I when I competed in the US, I was much I don't how to say it in English. I was not that hard.
Like
Softer,
softer. Yeah.
softer. Yeah, my look was much softer because they are really soft. Yeah. You can also see that when Tyler's judging, for example, at the FIBO. Yeah. And they're the two front runners, so Allison and Evie. They both really hit the look from the US. Yeah, also, yeah, they were really soft, and you can see that. Yeah, it's obvious. So they took first and second place, and I think it was right that they took that because Tyler just judges the same way here in Europe as he would judge in the US. So
Mm.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Lisa, now you've taken the win.
Yes.
Now you're back at Olympia.
Yes.
Have you got any more shows lined up before the big day?
Um, I was not sure to win now. It's totally new for me because the last 2 years I had to do 10 shows to qualify for the Olympia, and now I took the win at the second show this year. So I was I was not ready for this. That's the reason I booked Alicante next week.
Yeah.
And New York in 4 weeks. I think it's 4 weeks.
Nice.
I already booked it before, so I will do these two shows. Yeah,
Amazing.
and then I will do a break. I think I will do 1 or 2 shows before the Olympia just to find the look, to have a peak, and because I think it's important, especially for such a show like the Olympia, to have 1 or 2 shows before to try to find the look a bit, and so that's the plan. And I think after the Olympia I will also start to get maybe the qualification much earlier. So I will try that also. Yeah.
And look, I mean, let's look ahead to Olympia because you've been there on 2 other occasions. So some may say you're becoming an Olympia veteran now. This is your third time, it's your hat trick in being back at Olympia in Vegas. Talk to me now about it's your third time now at Olympia. So you're a recognizable face over there. What is a realistic goal for you to go out and achieve when you go back out to Olympia for the third time?
Yeah. That's a good question because I think for us Europeans, it's really hard to place good at the Olympia. My experience is the first year I competed, I was in the middle, around 24 to 26 place. It was the fourth call out. And last year, I had a better package, in my opinion, but I placed a bit lower. So I was, I think, 26th to 28th place and was the fifth call out. So it was not better. It was, yeah. But I looked better, I think, last year than the year before. So this year I will try to find a new look, maybe. Yeah. Because the feedback from the Olympia was not that my form or my condition was bad. It was my red bikini and my hair and my makeup was I don't know how to say this in English, but it was too old, too I have to do a fresher makeup, not the heavy red lips, just a more fresh look, a more modern look. Yeah, that's what they wanted me to bring. So I think I will more bring my best form also like last year, but I will, yeah, do from the look something different. So yeah, I think I will do this feedback and will change my makeup, my hair, maybe the bikini again, yeah, to bring something new to stage. Because I think that's what they want to see, yeah, something fresh, something modern. Yeah, maybe then I can get a better placing. Yeah, maybe my goal is just to be better than last year. Yeah, that's I think also a realistic goal. Um, maybe between the 20th place and 25. Yeah, just to get better than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, look, Lisa, I want to wish you all the best going into Olympia. Of course, you still got two more shows. In fact, I'm over at Alicante next weekend for Emilio's
Cool.
show. And then, of course, 3 weeks later, I mean, look, you're over to New York, Steve Weinberger's show, straight after Pittsburgh. I can imagine that's going to be a really phenomenal lineup, especially with a lot of the girls probably will be jumping over to New York afterwards.
Yes.
So that's going to be like a mini Olympia lineup anyway. So, Lisa, all the best for the rest of your next two shows. Of course,
Thank you
leading
so
into
much.
Olympia. And I really do hope that, you know what, things like the bikini, the makeup hair,
Yeah.
you get spot on. I mean, you do get that place that you want. Because, look, we're a fan of, obviously, of European bikini competitors. We got one of our own, Kerry Sexton from the UK, who's going to be over there. So,
Yeah, I'm really glad that I will meet you at the Olympia also.
Yes.
Yeah. That will be so cool.
No,
I think you qualified at Romania, yes?
I did. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen that and I was so happy because you also did so many shows, yeah, to qualify. So
A lot, isn't
so
it? And
cool.
it's great to finally get there. And I hope to have a situation like you actually coming into the next season where I can finally get in front of Maz and get a first place.
Yes.
Think about it, like you just I almost want to see him on the judging panel. And usually you do. I can't get away from him. But I bet you this year I'm going to be like trying to hunt him down because, yeah, I feel like that would feel really good to get a win in front of someone that you've like come so close to, like
Yeah.
each time. So, yeah.
Yeah. And who was judging Romania?
It was Tarek.
Oh, yes, I know him. But I think that's a good sign for you because he's also an US judge. Yeah.
Yeah, fingers
So,
crossed. So
yeah.
hopefully Tyler was the one before like a third place. So
Mhm.
that's good. So
Cool.
hopefully, but it's just I just want to see someone from Europe like again do well, like over in the States, like or well, at least a few of us. Like I just want us to kind of like put ourselves out there and, you know, dominate like we should be, and be rewarded for our hard work that we obviously put into. So yeah, fingers crossed. I hope that we do find our way over there to make our names bigger over there like we deserve.
Yes. Also, I thought competing or doing shows at the US helps you to get a better placing at the Olympia. But I did it last year and it did not help me. So I don't know what to do. But when you think about which European girls are placed good at the Olympia, it's not many. Yeah, I think the European girls are all fourth, fifth, sixth call out. Yeah, so
Let's smash this. We got to change this. was
Yeah, I think so too. We have to do something about that.
I'm like, no, we got to change this.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I'm sure one of us can do that.
Definitely.
I
Well,
hope
look,
so.
Lisa, thank you so much for your time, and we wish you very best for the next two shows and going into Olympia.
Thank you so much for having me. And I hope you understand everything because my English is not that good, but I tried my
It
best.
was good.
I
It
was
was
spot on.
spot on, Lisa. Thank you so
Was.
much.
See you at
Thank
the
you.
Olympia.
Yes. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, she's really nice.
One thing I do want to jump on as well, then, guys. Before we go into the amateur section, Charlotte competed at the One Bro Pro. Obviously didn't get the results she wanted, and we know she's now heading over to Seoul for her next show. I'm just
Mhm.
keen to hear about your thoughts because obviously you girls were at the show, you saw the lineup. Was it a fair result? We've obviously seen the videos from the previous show she did. I don't really have too much content of what I've seen apart from maybe Marnie, what you posted on your story. Just keen to
Mm.
hear your feedback.
So, I have spoken to her since, and we've looked at a few things. And the look that she had leading into the show versus show day was night and day difference. So, as in, she was better than show day before, in a few different lights, not as good lights, even, I would argue. She did look better from the rear. I think her front pose is always going to be strong. But I feel like from what I looked at and the feedback I gave her, it looked like she wasn't as um, full or vascular. And obviously, I know we don't need to be vascular, but there's like a link there, isn't there? So like she didn't have the same condition as she did like leading into the show a little bit. And obviously, she told me like nothing's changed. We just did the same thing as we always do. And I asked her when her cycle was, and I think she was like hit her ovulation, and she was like, I didn't think of that. And I just fed back to her that sometimes I find with like myself and clients that like I might have to bump sodium up a little bit more or more water or change the peak just slightly around that sort of time, which it didn't even cross her mind, which fair enough. And I think yeah, sometimes that can definitely have an effect on like the overall look. So I think to me, it just looked like there was sodium, water, carbohydrates, something that wasn't getting into the muscle, into the glutes, because that's what I saw. There wasn't that projection and fullness. What I was seeing from other photos that I've seen of her, and also watching her on stage in the previous show. So that would be my feedback. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying that. But yeah, that's my feedback. But yeah, she is in Korea now. She landed there like what, Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, phenomenal show. I love that show over there. So hopefully she can tick all the boxes and get and push for a result that she's
Yeah.
looking for over there. But staying back home in the UK, the amateur show. Now, I was talking about God. You know what? I probably cursed the poor girls, but I was saying, oh, none of the international competitors be coming over. It'd be a clean sweep for UK, and of course, we had a Italian
Never
come
gonna
over.
be.
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring up the images of a variety of competitors, but I want you to girls to lead this because I guess let's go to the overall first. Did you feel the right girl won on the day? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I did see a few stories from a few different people questioning the result. Now, I'm not sure if they were there, but I do feel they were because they did have girls in different lineups. What was your thoughts while I get the picture up of the overall winner?
So I'll be honest, I didn't really pay that much attention when I was watching the overall, purely because, yeah, well, Jake and I were chatting. Obviously, we had Marsha compete, and Marsha came second in her class. So I was kind of a bit blindsided by that. Like, we thought that Marsha brought her best ever package, which she did. But I think the overall I don't know, did you, were you watching, Kerry? Like, were you paying close attention? Because you're probably better off to answer this than me. I
Yeah.
wasn't
I
really.
think from like she has loads of potential, this girl, loads of potential. Obviously, you could see a difference in when you put her in with the pros,
So
but that overall shape and structure that she had was very good, was very balanced, very clean. very pretty. So yeah, I think it was good. I think moving forwards, she could change her hairstyling a little bit, just to make it a little bit more like neater and presentable, so to speak. But I think from like you add a little bit more muscle on that frame, and I can see that being a competitive physique. So I wasn't like mad about who had taken it. I think she had a great like overall balance, and probably the best balance, which is obviously why she was rewarded as she was. So congratulations to her as well, if
Yeah.
she is obviously listening.
Yeah, well done. I actually captured that video, which I was quite happy because I think, wow, like it is a sick video, isn't it? You see the reactions and everything, but
Yeah.
I think it's probably like a time thing. Like she's entering the pro league now. We all know that there is a jump there from fresh pro card winner amateur to really making a name for yourself in the pro league. Like some girls do it, they kind of just jump straight in and they become an Olympian overnight. But I think, yeah, the potential's definitely there and the structure's there. And we actually, the three of us with some of the other girls were sat with each other watching the pro show. And I think it was Phoebe Goodwin that said this. She watched the girls walk to the back in the overall, and she actually said, like, I think one of the strengths that Elisabetta had was that her glutes kept the roundness and fullness on the walk to the back, and that is potentially what pipped it. And I think that really highlights the importance of crossing your T's and dotting your I's when it comes to posing. Because when you're in that overall lineup and the judge says, ladies, walk to the back of the stage, walk to the back curtain, if that upper outer glute starts to disappear, it could be the difference between, winning a pro card and not winning a pro card. So yeah, I think that could have been one of the things that also worked in her favor in this, although I did not see that. So that came from other people who were watching the show, basically.
I,
Uh,
I, I want to bring up some of the girls who were in the overall lineup. So obviously I saw Kerry was in the
yes,
lineup.
she was.
Just from the line of regional, she got a class win and she's back in the overall lineup. Um, Marnie, I know you've worked with Kerry
Yes,
on the
yes.
posing. Talk to me about her performance.
Oh, honestly, she's come back this year like a completely different athlete. And her and I did a lot of like intensive posing in person and whatever. And I think she's always struggled a little bit with believing in herself and having that confidence. And I know that's really, really common for a lot of athletes, even the ones that have been in this. Like, I hear Kerry say this all the time. Like, in the past, she said, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, this and that. But and oh, it's a fluke and this and that. But no, I think Carrie's finally like stepping into her own as an athlete and she's got the development there. She's a class A girl. It's really hard for us when we are on the shorter side to kind of stand out in an overall lineup because like by default all the other girls do tower over us. They're taller than we are. But I think she's where she needs to be right now, and it is just a case of refining that overall look. And she'll get better as she goes through the season. Like it's more time on stage, so
Yeah.
she's really happy with her posing. Like we made a lot of adjustments actually from the regional into the pro qualifier as well, just with posture and stuff. Because when you are short, you need to kind of stand up taller sometimes, and not be crouching down or like leaning and doing anything like that. So I think the overall lineup was really strong, to be honest. Like the
Yes,
girl in the red
got
suit
here.
there, the girl in the red suit in the middle, I think her name's Lizzie or Elizabeth.
I've literally just got here. Just one
Yeah,
moment.
really, really impressed with her look. Hair, suit, everything, really, really nice look. And the glutes as well. So yeah.
There's some crazy potential. There really is, like across this show, there was some crazy potential, which is really, really nice to see.
hmm
Of
I think
course, the lineup she was in was obviously one of the favorites. Laurie, who took the overall win in the regional 2 weeks ago. When we do see some other names, there's Lati, Brooke, who did compete the next day at a different federation. So it's clearly a strong lineup to get a victory was
Yeah,
a huge
definitely.
thing.
100%. Wasn't it like the strongest lineup?
Yeah,
Was
everybody was
it?
screaming when these girls were on stage in this class. And I just want to say as well, obviously, I saw Laurie at the show and chatted with her, and it was really nice to catch up, obviously, after having her on the podcast and stuff. Her presentation was just immaculate. Like, it's only a matter of time for her, as much as we keep saying that phrase. Like, I do genuinely think that you're going to see quite a lot of girls from this specific show turn pro at some point over the course of this year. Um,
I
yeah,
said the same to her. I saw her after as well, to be fair, and had a long chat with her. And I think, yeah, it's just timing. It really is. Yeah, it really is in this game. No matter where you are, from amateur to pro, like sometimes for some people, there are obviously people that just get the win and then get the win and get the win, and then they're at the Olympia. But then there are some people where it does take many shows. So.
I
Who were
think.
the who were the other UK girls in the overall lineup, Marnie?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think both of the blondes in, well, obviously Carrie's on the far right, but I think that girl there is also from the UK in the red, if I'm not wrong.
I think I think that is Meg who's
Meg
done.
something. Yes, Meg. Can't
She's
remember what her name
yeah,
is.
she's done Miami Pro before. Try to remember Nate. Try to remember. See if I remember what it was. Oh, I'm not.
Mm,
Maybe a quick little
I'm not sure
search.
what her surname is. Um,
Can't remember for the sake of me.
yeah, I mean there was some kind of like new faces in this. I think as well the girl who's second from the left in the blue suit, when she walked out, Jake and I looked at each other across the audience and we were like, "Wow, who's that?" And I think she's a European athlete. I don't know
Okay.
what the girl's name is though. I don't know if the scorecards are on NPC News Online yet, but you might be able to.
I've
Um,
I've looked earlier. They weren't on there yet. Let me just bring up another one of your girls we spoke about. Was Marsha, who took second in the class. Is that right?
yes, she did. I just want to say, like, well done to her as well. All things considered, like, this is literally Marsha's fourth ever show and second ever season. So to look like that, I mean,
Crazy.
we took these videos just before she went on, and we're really, really, really happy with what we brought. Like, the three of us, me, Jake, and Marsha, we couldn't have done any more. She did get feedback from Maz, I believe. I wasn't there, but I think he said she needs a little bit more upper outer glute development, which I think for the vast majority of bikini girls is usually the feedback.
Yeah, I thought that too, to be real. I thought that too, but
Yeah,
like,
it's
the everything's there. That's the thing. Like
yeah,
everything structurally is there. Again, it's just time under the weights, under the iron.
yeah, time under the iron, and I think as well just time doing more shows because I mean I won't go into too much on this, but obviously Marsha just did the regional like a couple of weeks ago, and she did get a little bit upset when she didn't win the overall. As you would, like, emotions are high and stuff like that, but I really think that like having those kind of moments in your journey, like that is the character building part of this. It's building you up to eventually get your day. The amount of setbacks that like some of the top athletes have, ask any pro like we do on here. Nobody has had like a plain sailing career. So I think
Far from it.
it's
Far from it.
yeah, it's time on stage as well. It's time up there and getting comfortable on stage and like getting comfortable with maybe not getting the result that you want and coming back better. And there's always things to improve on. Like her and I are still going to keep working on her presentation because she is probably going to come back later on this year.
Here was
But
the
yeah,
other girl. Sorry, I was just looking for.
Yes.
I think
Um,
it definitely is important to remember though what like it is the struggles and the amount of times like look, it took me 18 shows to be able to win. 18 pro shows over 4 years. Like if you look at that on paper, if you look on paper at each, result I got, you would probably question like why is she still going or
yeah.
whatever. But it just goes to show and I'm a pro and I've done that for like well five, obviously one of them I broke my foot, but like 4 years of attempts to get there. So yeah. I think to anyone out there, just like if you love this sport, then just keep loving the sport, keep enjoying it and keep going through the journey. And you are going to get placings that you're not happy with. Just take them on the chin and let it drive you to go for more.
I'm just bringing up Meg because obviously I like to try and shout out as many people as
Yeah, yeah.
possible. There's obviously no pictures from the most recent show, but she did do the Condition Cup, which was a regional before this. So well done, obviously, in making the overalls. And it's always good to see more UK girls in that lineup, really get an idea about who are the ones maybe to keep an eye on, but also, maybe it's just unearthing some new stars that we need to look at for the future. Um, let's talk about Victoria. She
Yeah.
is the first UK fit model IFBB Pro, the fifth IFBB Pro in the new division to be awarded in 2025 to join four others from Brazil, United States, Germany, United States, and Taiwan. So, yeah, great moment for Victoria. She beat Dion, who won the regional 2 weeks ago. Once again, we spoke about this earlier that the more shows we see Fib model, the more we maybe get an idea about what the judges are looking for. This, of course, is only the second pro qualifier to take place in Europe. What's your thoughts?
I really like
Just,
her physique.
yeah, I think she's only a junior as well, I
Yeah.
think. So it's again, it just goes to show like she's got a nice runway there, like now to enter the pro league and kind of keep refining, and it's just time in the game in it. But what a really nice foundation she's got. And I think
You agree?
and one thing that I spoke to the judges actually after Fit Model where we had an interval just before Bikini, and the judges had said that again they were really paying attention in the walk, and apparently Victoria had, you could kind of just see a bit more development in the legs when Victoria was walking to the front and the back. So if we want to hammer anything home from this week's episode, like guys, practice your freaking walk on stage because it matters. It really does. When it's they're giving out a pro card or an overall win, or even a class win, I think that added to her, profile of strengths for this.
Sure, 100%. But yeah, I think she's just got a really nice like structure, a nice taper. There's nothing like hard about it, but there's still nice like a nice bubbly kind of pop that you would expect to see when you think of the class. So I think that is a very good like representative and a good IFBB pro there.
I will bring up a few of the girls who made the overall. Dion, who won the regional, well done to yourself. I'm hoping that you've still got some more pro qualifiers in you
Yeah, me
because you
too.
did,
She's got a lovely physique.
yeah, she did very well. So congratulations to herself. Marnie, I know obviously the show you had a few hitters going for the pro card. Who was your fit model girl?
It was Hannah. I think her profile is on private though. I think you might have
Oh,
collabed a photo though. If you go on the Rocket Posing Instagram page, you'll see more on there actually. CK, IT.
IT.
Come on. That's not on brand. Rocket Posing. Type in Rocket Posing.
Okay.
It might be shadow banned because obviously, you know,
What?
how Instagram is these days. So annoying.
Honestly,
Uh,
a Mark can post his back shot and you can see glutes and he
Yeah.
won't get shadow banned, but then I will and it'll be, yeah,
There
that
she
word.
is. If you keep scrolling, you'll see some more
oh
videos of
yeah,
her.
it's
Yeah, she's on
banned.
private.
Damn it.
Um, keep going, keep going. There in the green suit.
Middle. Yeah.
That's her, yeah. That was her just before the regional. And she actually came in a lot fuller for this show, which I was really happy with. She's actually coached by Winter Adams, which is really nice. Obviously Winter's in prep for Pittsburgh Pro, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think again, like because Hannah's come from Bikini and she's technically like a masters athlete as well, so she's got a bit more muscle maturity than like say someone like Victoria who's a junior. So I think this is where like the nuances obviously of each individual is going to come into it, but I do believe that Hannah has what it takes to turn pro in this class. Again, it's just refinements, the right lineup, we've said it a million times before, but she's a class A girl, so she's tiny. She's absolutely tiny in real life. And I think it's hard then, like, she doesn't necessarily want to grow too much, like, because she's already got a bit of development there. So yeah, it's refining the look and finding the peak for her, I think.
Yeah. Well done, Hannah. So has she got some shows lined up now? Anymore?
Maybe, yes. So yeah, I think we're gonna go. She's got Muscle Contest Island, which,
Nice. That's about, is that 3 or 4 weeks time?
yeah, it's a little while away. And again, I don't know if it'll be Tamer or Tarek who maybe is judging that. Usually Tamer does, or I think maybe he did last year, but typically I think they'll have a US judge there, which I'm hopeful for. Because again, I just think coming from across the pond, it's nice to have that eye on the panel.
Yeah.
So
I just want to talk about going across the pond. I just want to just grab three other girls. So in the US, we're now getting closer towards the pro qualifiers. We've got NPC Junior Nationals coming up, awarding pro cards for model, and also Pittsburgh, which are awarding two pro cards for the football division. I'm just going to bring up three girls here. One of them is Shayla. This is her second overall victory in the fifth model division. So there's three competitors who competed over the weekend who all became a two-time overall champion in the NPC for fifth model in the US, and nobody else has achieved that. So it is, of course, early days in the division. But I thought I'd just show you guys a few of the competitors abroad. So this is obviously through Gilto. This is Shayla. Thoughts of her?
nice, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, like this to me is kind of like I'm comparing people in my mind always to Ashley of 2015 Olympia.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is in my head, that is always my benchmark for this
Yeah.
until it is stated otherwise. You know, that even though we've had pros and whatever, like that's what we're really comparing to. So yeah, like I think it's comparable. I think she's got a really good look here. Good development. Like you can tell she trains. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing here. To anyone that thinks fit model is easy.
Yeah.
This is Gabriella, who's coached by James Atlas. This is her second victory. I think she's also going to Pittsburgh, I think, in a few weeks'
Nice.
time. Going for a pro card. This was her second overall victory. So well done to herself. And one of the favorites, one of the girls that a lot of people do talk about, is I don't know if you've come across her already, but Emily Chanel.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful look. Really
Yes.
nice.
Mm.
Yeah, so she obviously pushed Angie very close in just want to get one of the videos. She pushed Angie very close to Japan, which was the first pro qualifier for the football division. Is there a video? No, these are just early pictures. But yeah, look, well done there. You know what? I'm gonna have to bring this person up, Marnie. You know who's coming up.
Do I? Oh, of course.
And we're not laughing at you. We're not laughing at this person here. We're not like
No.
she's
I
amazing. It's just I've seen a bit of a similarity between the face. Not on all photos. If you scroll through her profile, some are completely like you're like, nah. But I'm not gonna lie, I screenshotted the one with the flowers on the left at the top, and I showed Mark, and he was like, "Oh, what's Marnie doing?"
No way.
this
So
one.
that was my confirmation.
No
Like, look at
way.
Marnie.
I I really, really want to see like if I dropped this picture and with a caption or a statement, a title on it, say Marnie's come back to win Fit Model. How many people will actually fall for it?
I know, it's crazy. It's just, it's like I say, it's not all of them. It's just when I did that, I sent you a comparison, didn't I, of that? And then I think that other one with the flowers on, Marnie walking into Monday, like,
If you
um,
if you scroll down a second, Suki, you're gonna laugh at this one. If anybody knows Mandie from Black Ice, just brace yourselves. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Right, stop. Up a bit. Right, see that picture in the middle where she's sticking her tongue out?
Yeah.
yeah,
Click on that and then click to the next photo. Tell me that is not me, Mandie and Meg from Black Eyes.
that's crazy.
I was like randomly scrolling and I was
That's
like, no
nuts.
way.
Oh my goodness.
I sent it to Mandie and I was like, tell me this isn't us.
Gosh.
The
Okay, that's
similarity
it.
is too much.
It is, like I say, it's not in all pics, but like in some of them.
If you squint, it's us.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah, it is.
that Mandy is just uncanny. Oh my God, yeah.
I know, I know.
But look,
So
no,
yeah,
just maybe I will drop that picture and just announce that you've won a football competition, the NBC.
uh,
Look,
uh,
before we wrap it up, let's just look slightly ahead because next week we have got Ariana Brothers who'll be joining us, and
yay.
she's got her own show that she needs to focus on coming up. But let's just quickly get the Wasatch
This
Warrior.
weekend is literally like bikini central all over the world. Like, what the hell? The lineups are crazy.
So obviously for me, like a couple of standout ones, obviously Jordan Brannon, who I think will also be joining us next week. Emmy Pearson, who we obviously interviewed after winning the San Diego Pro Show. Any standout? Who do you think are the favourites for this lineup?
I
I
can't
think
wait to see Tiana Weymouth back. I can't wait.
Yeah, Tiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually messaging her just the other day, because we met in Nashville and she's kept very quiet about this. I knew she was in prep, but I didn't know what show. And yeah, I'm so excited for her because she came very close last year. I think she actually her highest placing was a second place, if I'm not mistaken.
And she's only young, you know. But yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure what she was doing. I'm one of her close friends, and I was like, what do we
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, yeah. We're on close friends. She watches the pod as well. I know she'll watch this.
Oh, amazing. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we're rooting for you. I can't wait to see the look that she does bring this year.
We're
Yeah,
definitely
exciting.
going to look back at that show
Yes.
next week. And the other one, why haven't I swear
Girl
they've got the
power.
lineup there? Let me go to the other one. They've got it, Bikini Network or Pro Bikini Network, sorry.
Yeah, Pro Bikini Network.
Yeah, no, they'll have it.
Yeah, solid.
So this one is a women's only weekend show. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So this is the one where, well, I mean, really, I mean, the standout favorite, the standout name there is Ariana, having come second of the Charlotte Cup just the other week, coming close over the Arnolds, having been a previous Olympia top 10 as well. We're gonna have her on here next week to reflect back at this show, and obviously she's got the Pittsburgh show coming up as well. Standout names here. Who do you think could pop a
Yeah, I
surprise?
mean, you've got a few Olympians in this one. Ariel
Texas.
Barley, unreal, very, very good physique. Wears a pink suit, love that. And Lexus Redmond, Alice Rocha.
Yeah.
Nade as well. There's
Yeah.
quite a few girls in
Yeah.
this one, I think. Yeah. I recognize the name Chantel Hall as well. I don't know if she's an Olympian, so forgive me if I'm wrong in saying that, but I think she's quite a well-known bikini girl in the States. So yeah, I think this one's going to be like competitive. It's going to be interesting to see like Ariel, for example. I don't think we've seen her compete for a while, so some people are like coming back and it's a bit unknown how people look because maybe they've just been a bit quiet on updates. So yeah.
And of course, we really should finish on the one where we have one of our own competing, and that is, of course, the career
Yeah.
pro, Charlotte Ellis, back on stage. Once again, she's done well over in Asia. It was 2 seconds back to back. What's your thoughts here?
I was
Well,
interested to see Valeria. Um,
yeah.
always in condition, always ready to go. But yeah, and who is it?
Jebin Park.
Yeah,
Jebin Park as well. Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
think also I recognize another name on this that you guys might not remember, but Amanda Lee. She was the athlete that turned up at one of our UK shows and she was coached by Team Atlas. She's from Singapore and she won her pro card in the UK at the British finals, maybe in
oh,
2022.
yeah,
Do you remember that?
yeah, I literally do. Yeah, 100%.
She
That's
walked out in a
crazy.
purple suit and everyone was like, well, there's the winner.
Nuts. But
So yeah,
yeah, This is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just don't know. I'd love to see Shah win,
Oh, I
obviously.
know. Come on,
Obviously.
Shah. You've got this, gal.
yeah, it's definitely a show we're gonna look back on next week. So yeah, next week we got Ariana on. Maybe Jordan will also be joining us as well. And of course, we are going to reflect. We've got the Two Bros regional in Scotland. We've got that going on. Also, we've got Alicante, Portugal this weekend. So that's a pro qualifier. Imagine, do we know any UK girls headed over there?
No,
Marsha's not. I know that.
No.
Mm.
no.
I'm sure I've seen someone say that they're 7 days out or less than that.
Well, so we'll soon find out. But we got the Two Bros show. We got that. We're gonna look at the American shows. We're gonna check out how Charlotte did over there. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy one. I'm sure there's gonna be a few other. I think there's a few of the pro qualifiers where FIBO model pro cards will be awarded. It's always worth it. Just check that out. Just add a bit more knowledge, education for the division that's building,
It's
and
getting me so
maybe more in
hyped.
the future division.
It's getting me so hyped. I just want to get back on stage.
There we go. She wants to get back on
Oh,
stage. Marnie, are
yeah.
you get hyped to get back on stage yet?
No, it's no, absolutely not. I'm
No.
living my best life being number one stage hype mom at the moment. I
Yeah.
was just gonna say before we wrap up though, thank you to everybody that's been leaving such lovely comments on the episodes because I actually do go through and read them and sometimes comment back to people. I don't know if you've got the notifications through, Suki, when you
I
see
do
the
get
comment.
notifications, yeah.
But it's really, really nice that, I've had so many people say that they're enjoying our podcast. And
Yeah.
it was actually Tiana that said to me, it's so nice how diverse the Bikini Insider episodes are because, we're not just kind of reviewing a pro show and that's it. It's like we're interviewing people, we're looking at the amateur ranks, and we're talking about us and just
Yeah.
everything. Like nothing is kind of left. So yeah, let us know in the comments if there's anything that you want to see more of or anything that we haven't done yet. That's
And
appreciated.
put people's names forward if you think of anyone who you would
Yes.
like to be on here.
Definitely. Okay, that's a wrap. We'll see you girls and everybody else, the viewers, all check out next week. And if you are competing this weekend, best of luck. I
Yes.
will be keeping my eye out on you guys. And please do tag the page so at least that way I know who's competing. And of course, like Kerry said, drop a comment below. Let me know who when you're competing, maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend. But yeah, keep us posted about how you guys are going. Take care.